am on the other side of this. Like, we've been divorcing now through this process for a whole year. And, you know, it's caught up with what I had to do. So, like, emotionally, I feel like I'm ready to be done with it. I'm ready to heal, ready to move on. But, you know, here comes a reality show. So here's the part of my life where it gets interesting. I'm done with the divorce, but I had to deal with it, all the darkness on camera.
So here's what's going on with Porsha Williams. She's facing some serious trouble with her house situation, and it's looking more stressful by the day. Let's take a slow walk through everything, because this mess didn't just come out of nowhere. It all began when her now estranged husband, Simon Gobadiah, gave her a deal that seemed generous at the time. When they were together, he allowed her to live in a luxurious home without paying the mortgage for 3 whole years. That's 36 months of not having to worry about making payments on a very expensive house. The reason Simon gave her that deal, according to what he told the court, is because she didn't have a job when they got married. He said she wasn't bringing in any money at all, so he agreed to handle everything while she got back on her feet.
Divorcing now through this process for a whole year. And, you know, it's caught up with what I had to do. So, like, emotionally, I feel like I'm ready to be done with it. I'm ready to heal, ready to move on.
In other words, he covered the costs so she could rebuild her financial life. Now here we are, and those 3 years are almost over. That means it's time for Porsha to take full responsibility for the house. She was supposed to refinance the property into her own name, which means taking out a mortgage in her name alone. But there's a big issue: she can't do it. According to reports, the bank looked at her application and said no. Why? Because her credit score isn't good enough.
To record in the house?
Yes. So I did.
But it was your house.
Yes, our house. So, I mean, I know he's explained it 1,000 different ways online. He has documented our entire divorce on the Simon Show online, and then I have the Housewives, I suppose. But yeah, there is paperwork in place that would make it a marital property 50-50 split. Outside of that being enforced, it is a premarital property or whatever.
Apparently, her credit is too low to qualify for such a massive loan. And this isn't some small monthly bill we're talking about. The cost of the home is extremely high, and the monthly mortgage is in the tens of thousands. That kind of payment requires solid income, stable finances, and great credit, none of which she seems to have right now. Simon's done helping. He testified in court that maintaining the house costs about $50,000 a month.
Just because you're going through a divorce doesn't mean you hate someone. I hate actions, I hate lies, I hate a lot of characteristics, but I love the person, you know, and I would never wish harm on anybody. And at the end of the day, I know that he's the type of person, he's a slithering snake. He's gonna find his way out of it. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Porsha, on the other hand, says it's closer to $20,000 monthly. But either way, it's a lot of money for someone who doesn't have a full-time job or regular income. And now, with the bank turning her down, she's in a real jam. But before anyone rushes to judge her, let's remember how this situation came to be. When Porsha first announced she was engaged to Simon, people were stunned. At the time, Simon was married to another woman, Porsha's castmate from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Falynn. That made things messy from the start. Still, the couple moved forward and had not one, but 2 big weddings. They wore fancy designer clothes, followed Nigerian traditions, and celebrated like royalty. It looked like a dream. But behind the glitz and glamour, trouble was already brewing. Less than 2 years into the marriage, they were heading for divorce. Now, here's where things get even more complicated.
About me and my fans, do respect, I'm transparent. So even though it didn't turn out the story that I wanted to share, I still was open with what I had.
Court records show that when they got married, Simon moved Porsha into a massive mansion in Duluth, Georgia, worth around $7 million. He even put her name on the property deed. However, he didn't put her name on the mortgage loan. That part was all his responsibility, at least for those first 36 months. He told the court that Porsha had no regular income when they tied the knot. No TV paychecks, no business earnings, nothing steady. So, he agreed to take care of everything: mortgage, utility bills, household maintenance, and all other expenses tied to the home. That arrangement wasn't forever though. It came with a deadline. After those 3 years, Porsha was supposed to refinance the house, and take over the financial duties herself. Now the time is up, and refinancing isn't happening. In court, Porsha admitted that she needed all 3 years just to start getting her finances together. And even with that time, it still wasn't enough to convince the bank. The reality is, refinancing a home, especially one worth millions, is no easy task. You need a strong credit history, a reliable stream of income, and a good relationship with lenders. Porsha, according to both Simon and the court filings, has none of those things right now. It's not just about owning the home, it's about being able to keep it. And if the bank has already said no, that's a clear sign they don't trust her financial situation. She might be famous, but fame doesn't cover high-dollar mortgages. Banks want numbers, credit scores, pay stubs, bank statements, not reality show appearances or social media followers. So now, Porsha is facing a situation where she's in a home she can't pay for. The man who used to support her has completely stepped back, and she doesn't have the financial foundation to keep it going. That 3-year grace period is just about up, and if nothing changes fast, she could lose the home. And Simon? He's made it clear that he's done. In fact, he told the court he's not contributing another cent. No more mortgage payments, no help with the lights, no yard maintenance, nothing. From his point of view, she's on her own now, legally and financially. He didn't just walk away emotionally, he's walked away entirely. And here's where things get even more tangled. In court, Simon said again that he was spending about $50,000 each month to maintain the house. But Porsha said that number was way off and claimed it was only $20,000. So which is it? That's a huge difference. And it raises a lot of questions. One of them might be, how could she not know how much her own home costs to run every month? If Simon's numbers are correct, and the house really does cost that much, and now no one's paying, then she's got a huge problem. That kind of mortgage can't just sit unpaid. One missed payment on a property like that can start a chain reaction, late fees, foreclosure threats, legal letters. It can all happen fast. And Simon's court statements made it clear he's not bailing her out. On top of that, Porsha claimed in court that she once helped Simon with his child support payments. That caught everyone's attention. But there was a major issue with her claim. She didn't show any evidence. No documents, no receipts, no bank records, nothing to prove she actually paid anything on his behalf. And courts don't go off words alone. They want facts. If she had really covered child support payments for him, even one time, there should have been a bank transfer, a check, or a payment confirmation to back it up. But she didn't provide anything. So now the court is left with her word and nothing else, which doesn't help her case at all. It also brings up another problem. If she says she was able to help pay someone else's legal obligations, why can't she manage her own financial responsibilities now? It makes her story seem shaky, and that hurts her credibility. Let's not forget another major point, her credit. Word is, her credit is in bad shape, and that may be the quiet reason everything is falling apart. Banks look at credit reports closely, especially when someone is asking for a big home loan. And if the bank looked at hers and turned her down, that means they saw too many red flags. Even with TV appearances, business deals, and a known name, Porsha couldn't convince them. That says a lot. If her credit score is sitting too low, let's say in the low 500s, then it doesn't matter who she is. She's not getting approved for a home loan like that. Now, let's talk about what her options are. Right now, it doesn't look good. If she can't refinance, then she may be forced to sell the house. But that's not simple either. The housing market isn't great, especially for high-end properties. Selling a luxury home is hard enough, but selling one when the public knows you're in a bind? That makes it worse. When buyers know someone needs to sell fast, they start offering way less money. So even if she sells, she might not make a profit. She might not even break even. Plus, selling a house that expensive comes with its own headaches, legal documents, inspections, and a whole lot of paperwork. And if she doesn't sell, then she's stuck with a house she can't afford, no bank loan, and an ex-husband who's washed his hands of the entire situation. That's a heavy burden to carry. Sources close to her say she's really struggling with the pressure. They claim she's been stressed, staying home, sipping wine, and walking around trying to figure out what to do next. She's not working on any major TV shows right now, and there haven't been any big career moves announced. The bills are adding up, and there's no clear plan to fix it. She's doing what she can to keep her public image together, but behind closed doors, things may be very different. At some point, the truth always catches up. Financial issues don't go away on their own. So now we have to ask, what should Porsha do? Should she sell the home and start fresh? Should she try to reach out to Simon for help, even though he's made it clear he's not interested? Or maybe pitch a new reality series to Bravo and turn this mess into a comeback story? One thing's certain, Porsha has always been good at staying in the spotlight. If anyone can find a way to flip this drama into something bigger, it's probably her. But right now, she's got a mountain to climb, and time is running out. Let me know what you think. What would you do if you were in her shoes? Stay and fight to keep the house, or walk away and rebuild somewhere else? Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest updates. I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think about this whole situation. Should Porsha sell the house or try to hold on? Let's talk about it in the comments. And as always, thanks for your support. It means the world. I'll see you in the next video with more tea, more drama, and the real story behind the headlines. Stay tuned and stay real.